I want to tell you is that something stressed me out, and you might relate to the situation. You might realize that this is a trigger for you, or a lot of times you being triggered by something, and you forget about things like Welcome to a new episode of the Ewa Eckert podcast. I am Ewa Eckert and I am your host. I am a Polish immigrant with a big heart, strong accent, and kick-ass husband and two beautiful kids. American entrepreneur sharing an incredible mission to inspire women just like you to take bold action towards their dreams, passions, and desires so their life becomes more meaningful and fulfilled. I believe that the badass superhero of your unique purpose is inside all of you, all of us, and we should share it with the world to make the world a better place. I hope that this episode will help you finally discover the power of self-belief, self-motivation, so you can stop making the excuses and create the life you truly desire and deserve to have by being the upgraded version of you. Welcome to the show, guys. And again, thank you so much for watching, subscribing, listening to this show on Spotify or YouTube. And as you know, my channel is not only about personal development. You find so many different videos here of our family workouts, of our short clips of workouts, of different trips. So we take you on a ride. I take you on a journey. So please make sure that you're subscribing today. And make sure that you're checking what it's pinned in the comments, because there's always a free stuff. And if you guys don't listen till the end of the episode, you might miss on this thing. So make sure that you're getting this new free thing for you, that it's clipped in the comments. All right. So today we're going to be talking about some habits that you should never forget while on vacation, while traveling. And a few weeks ago, we went on a business trip. This business trip we combined with pleasure, because obviously when you travel to different states with our RV, you always have some downtime between maybe one state to the other, right? And it was intense. It's always intense, but this time was different than any other time, because I remember in the past, I was like, we were so go, that when you so go, you don't really have a moment to chill. And that's when you become super tired. But this time we had a little bit more time, and we actually just arrived in Colorado. And my goal for Colorado was to also, besides doing the business, meet a friend of mine who lives there. And as we arrived to Colorado, the mountains were on fire, guys. The mountains were on fire. And if you've ever seen a fire or been in a fire, you know what I'm talking about. You barely can see anything. It was in the middle of the night. The police was blocking the road, and they told us, if your campsite is on the left, you are safe. But if it's on the right, you are not. So when we arrived to the campsite, we actually realized that a lot of people were evacuated. People left, but there were a lot of people who stayed because they were their homes. On those campsites, you actually see a lot of times people who live there. And I never experienced this. We never think about these things until we start experiencing them, right? So we stayed overnight. Nothing happened. The next 2-3 days, the roads were still blocked, and it was still chaos in Colorado. However, I met with my friend. But what I want to tell you is that something stressed me out, and you might relate to the situation. You might realize that this is a trigger for you, or a lot of times you being triggered by something, and you forget about things, like especially when you are traveling. The most important thing, I think, during travels, during any kind of vacation, is the workout. And I told you that each time we go to a place, we always check our fitness center first. This is like a number one thing, because we need to put in our head, all right, what are we dealing with? What do we have? Well, at this RV campsite, there was no training center. However, there was a cool spot where we could work out, right? So, but in these few days, we worked out as a family, and then the guys, my boys, had to fly out to do a Squire. If you never checked Squire, if you don't know what Squire is, make sure that you follow them on Instagram, because it's a father and son experience. It's one of a kind thing that my husband actually is leading, and my son became a part of it. He actually speak at those events. So, but that's besides the point. So, as a family, we kind of know our dynamic. We kind of work out. We know what to expect. We know that we need to be focused and goal-oriented, that when we start the workout, it's all about the workout, right? Well, because the roads were closed and my friend was working, in my head, we got up when the boys were gone. We got up and we were like, okay, we're going to plan this workout. We're going to work out at this time. And then I received a phone call, right? I received a phone call, and a friend was saying, "Hey, listen, we're going to this lake. I can come and pick you up. I know that Uber doesn't come to your RV place. We can come and pick you up, and we will drop you back off." I'm like thinking, okay, this sounds fantastic. However, I didn't work out. And if you know my stories, if you've been watching to my podcast and listening to my podcast, this is my non-negotiable. This is something that I literally do it before I do anything else, because I know how the day can go, and I don't want to have a situation when I'm exhausted or tired, or I'm coming at the end of the day and I will make excuses not to work out, because that's a human nature. Because it's hard to work out when you're exhausted, right? It's hard to work out when you didn't sleep enough. It's hard to work out when you are not hydrated. It's hard to work out when you've been exhausted. Maybe you've been presenting, you've been on stage, or you've been pouring into other people. It's hard. That's why I make this as my non-negotiable, as my priority. So here it is, this message. And I'm thinking, well, if I can't work out right now, because if I work out, then we are stuck here. And as I previously said, Uber wouldn't come because the roads were blocked. So here we go. Starting making this decision. Okay, we will go and we will work out later. The lake was amazing. We don't regret a thing. It was fantastic. We had a great time. We met some other people. It was beautiful, and the water was warm. So Colorado is gorgeous. If you've never been to Colorado and Estes Park, make sure that you're booking your. We're just checking if everything is recording, guys, because sometimes this recording stops. But anyway, it was amazing. So we had a great time. But as you know, you probably realized that the time of our arrival changed. And here is one important thing. When I met with the person who was picking me up, I said, look, I need to be by this time at home. I need to work out. This is my thing. And she said, okay, don't worry. We're going to do this. The time came. We didn't go home because we know, when you have a good time, you don't want to leave. And I also didn't want to put her in a comfortable position that I got to go. And now she has to leave and she needs to drop me off, right? So as we packing and as we trying, get ourselves together out of this beach and go to the RV park, out of nowhere, my daughter and her kids start talking, and they're like, okay, I want to go and work out with you. So out of nowhere, I have another person coming. Now another person wants to come. And in normal situations, I'm like, sure, no problem. Come and join us, because that's what we do all the time. But in my head is, okay, now I have to change my whole entire workout. We obviously, when we are at home, we have tons of equipment. Over there, we have limited equipment. I need to manage my 3 dogs that were locked in cages, of course, with AC, because that's what we do when we are at the park. We can be at the be hooked up and have AC. So they've been there locked for 4 hours, and I'm like, I have to deal with this. I have to take them out. How am I gonna manage it all? So the stress came in all of a sudden on me, and I start being a little anxious. And instead of being this loving-doving, like, sure, let's go, I was like a little stressed, guys. So anyway, I'm like, okay, we're all gonna work out. So by the time we got to the RV, this whole anxiety came over me. The dogs, and they didn't listen. And then the people, the dogs barking at the people that they came with us. They never met them. So it's the whole chaos. And I literally, from this good energy that I've had, from, being passionate about what I'm doing, how I'm inspiring people, I became totally deflated balloon. I was like so exhausted from all of it. And I'm sharing this with you because this was just a situation that I'm describing you. But you might not have dogs, you might have kids, or you might have employees, or whatever is happening throughout the day. Or even when you go on vacation, things happen and you get triggered, right? And you get like, maybe you go on excursions and then you are like, oh my God, I am totally wiped out. Now I'm not going to work out. So that was me. However, my daughter pulled me to the side and said, Mommy, breathe. Take your time. Relax. It's all going to be okay. And the reason why I felt this way is because the time was ticking. And my other friend who supposed to meet with us was arriving soon. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to have enough time. Now another person is coming. How I'm going to manage all? Too much stressors. Too many things was going on. So that was one of the things that I wanted to tell you. Like, never, when you are traveling, right? Put this workout as a priority. And I'm thinking like, what would have happened if I would have said no to her? Well, first of all, I could have communicated with her better and say, look, maybe you can pick us up a little bit later and work things out, or take my chances. Either the Uber comes or the Uber doesn't come. Number two, it's like when we depend on other people, things can change very easily, right? Because people have lives, things happen. So as much as you can, stay independent. And number three, don't freaking panic. Take your time, take a moment, go for a walk, release, de-stress, and think it's all going to be okay. And then the one thing also on this trip that we kind of stayed not as strict was journaling. We've realized that we didn't keep each other accountable as a family. And we've said after the trip that we cannot go on like this. That the first things are first. Before watching movies, even just the fact that you are on vacation, you might think, you know what, I don't need that. But then you might miss a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks out of your life, things that you should be grateful for, maybe the lessons that you've learned, maybe the struggles that you have. Because when you stay disciplined and when you stay on a track, when you stay on that journey, when you do things despite the fact that you don't feel like doing, that's obviously the discipline. That's obviously you showing up with more confidence, you showing up with kind of being focused and on track with everything. And we kind of step away from this. And that was a good lesson for us because we said, you know what, never ever again. We need to keep each other accountable. So even if one person would start something like that, the other would follow. So make sure again that even when you go on vacation, when you're traveling, whatever it is, you might be traveling for business, not necessarily on vacation. Whatever travels you do, always put that workout first. Stay independent. Don't depend on other people. Make sure that you're writing those lessons and keeping yourself focused and disciplined. All right. So I hope you got some good lessons from today's episode, and please make comments. And again, check out what I have pinned for you at the comment section below. Open up, sign up, and make sure that you actually doing it, because just to watch, just to open up another new PDF that you got, because there is a lot of free stuff out there available. It's not gonna do you any good until you actually following, implementing, doing it, right? Because it's all about being the doer. So guys, remember that the superhero is inside you. You just need to rediscover it. May your passion and curiosity be endless. May your enthusiasm be infectious. And may your final outcome be of service to others, because each of us makes the difference in the universe. I made mine, and the universe is awaiting you. No excuses.